Hi there.
Hey there.
I can't believe I'm on. Very cool.
You are. You are. You know what? I can prove it to you. Look at your Instagram. You'll see yourself right there.
I pulled up on Facebook Live right now on my computer.
Oh, you
So.
did? Okay. Got it. All right. So tell me,
But yeah, I found you
tell
on
me how I can
Instagram.
help you. Hmm.
Hi. So this is my question. Can someone who gets sober without addressing the reasons behind the addiction, can they be successful in sobriety long term?
Yeah. They're generally not
Yeah.
successful in all the other stuff that goes on that their dysfunction
Ah.
is causing. But I mean, there are people that have quit cold turkey, never done a thing about it, and we call them dry drunks.
hmm
And a lot of
Okay.
families,
So that's what I was kind of thinking.
because it's kind of interesting. First of all, we got to define recovery, or I think you said addressing underlying
I said
emotional stuff.
sobriety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it's so funny if you hang around, um, alcoholic families much. I was in the treatment center world for a long time. We had a chain of treatment centers, so
Okay.
I've had a lot of experience with addicts and their families. And it's
Okay.
so funny. You'll hear some people say, "Yeah, my mother quit drinking, and oh my gosh, she was a lot easier to deal with when she was drinking. I wish she'd started."
When she was drunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, I've
you will
heard
hear some
that.
people say that. Yeah. So was that your question? Is that it?
That is my question. I guess because the thought is, I would think without dealing with a lot of the underlying things that a new addiction, it'll just be replaced with something else.
Well, um, yes, it will, because by definition, addiction, addiction claims territory, right?
Uh-huh.
So when somebody gets into an addictive cycle, one of the things you see is more and 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 more of life begins to bend its knee to the space and the energy and the focus and attention and involvement and selection and choices and all of that is given to the addiction. So when they're not using anymore, that attention and all of that's got to go towards somewhere. Now, generally speaking, and this is, I think, the kernel of your question. Generally speaking,
Okay.
if they're not addressing anything, generally speaking, all of
Yeah.
that energy is still going to go to something that is about the self and self gratifying. That can be narcissistic use of other people, that can be achievement,
hmm
it can be something, but it's still going to be, see, an addict, the addict's world is almost a synonym for um, egocentric.
hmm
Everything is the circle. Everything involves around the self and gratifying the self.
hmm
So if they're not addressing and growing characterologically, a lot of their relationships are going to experience them as still kind of like it's still kind of in some subtle way all about them. Even some people that go from there to helping others. There's some people that, and they're very. I'm not trying to make them bad. There's a lot of people that get sober that don't really address the underlying issues that go off in good causes. But we've all met people in good causes that it's still kind of like all about them in a way. So you can even have that happen.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who are you dealing with? Who are you dealing with?
This question is regarding my husband. And then I was sharing that I think in the last year and a half, one of my brothers is getting out of rehab today. And then my other brother, another brother, and my mom have both been through rehab in the last probably year and a half. And so,
Oh, good. So they are
kind of the
addressing the
past,
underlying issues.
I would say that my mom is, and I'm hoping my brother that gets out of rehab today, this is a
Yeah.
first for him. I'm hoping that he is. And now My husband, he is currently doing an alcohol taper, and this is his second time doing a taper off of alcohol. And for him, dealing with, I think, severe social anxiety, it's really hard for him to talk to anyone. And so to him, the idea of going to rehab is way too big and scary. I think even going to a counselor, he's like, I don't think I can go there. So I'm looking at a situation like, if he without outside help and guidance and stuff, wondering how successful he can be, where it just
he might
really doesn't
let
want
me
to
give
look
you
at
some hope. Let me give you some hope, because that's a
Yeah.
little different than the way when you said without ever addressing the underlying issues. There are people that have the narcissistic, self-centeredness, egocentric kind of aspect of this, but what you described your husband, he sounds much more vulnerable than that, because he has social anxiety.
Yeah, I would definitely say that he is. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I love it when I hear that somebody's had a substance problem because they're trying to medicate some vulnerability, because that can
Yeah.
really be helped. And
Yeah.
if he's vulnerable, my guess would be he's kind of a soft-hearted guy,
Yep.
right?
I would say that's true.
Okay, so
Sensitive.
all we
Yeah.
got to do, sensitive, he's honest in some ways, right? He's caring.
Yeah.
He's just uncomfortable in his own skin.
Yes.
So let's go help him.
And so what? Okay, how?
Well, would he listen to something?
Yeah, I think he would.
Okay. I'm going to let you talk to Albie. We're out of time, so we got to go anyway. But I'm going to let you talk to Albie, and I'm going to give you an all-access pass to everything on boundaries.me, which includes our workshops.
Okay.
Is he a person of faith by chance?
He is.
Okay.
He's definitely.
And there's.
Yeah.
Okay. I would start with the anxiety workshop. It's one of our 2-hour webinars. I'm going to give it to you, and just watch it and see if you think the way that I talk about it and the way I deliver it or whatever would be safe enough and empathic enough for him to feel like he could watch that and feel. The first step is for him to feel understood and like he's not bad. I'd really love to see him get help. He's vulnerable. Let's help him. And so start there. And it's going to talk about he might not know that there are treatments available and help that's available that's not as scary as maybe he thought. And then the second thing I would want him to watch is the restoring your brokenness webinar. You guys go watch it together.
Okay. Was that was a recent one, correct?
Yeah, it's last week. But it's all on there. You've got the whole you will have a all access past all of it.
Okay. I was newer too, and so I've been meaning to sign up. Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, you don't have to sign up.
I'm really looking forward to.
Gift it to somebody else. Pass it on. Okay. Thank you for your call. You know what? I've got hope for your husband. A, he cares enough to get sober, and B, he's vulnerable. Vulnerability is good. It's really good. That's our way to life. So I got hope for him. Okay. Thank you for your call.